What have you guys been up to this past week?
Nothing. We're
Nothing?
off
Yeah,
till
we have,
May 18th.
yeah, we have we had 6 weeks off from our last wedding, so now we have 5 more
Mhm.
weeks off.
Yeah, I've been shooting.
You've been busy? For real? No way.
Well, I mean, some of us got to work, right? Some of us got to work. Are you alluding to all the drama that I stirred up on the internets these past couple of
Yes,
weeks?
I am.
I think you were misinterpreted.
I misunderstood.
The first post. Yeah, I think a lot of people took it out of context because they don't know you personally.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Should we let our listeners know what we're talking about?
Yeah, I'm sure most will probably know. But.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, there was actually it was just a string of posts that just cumulatively got me really triggered. Right, I was, like all these people complaining about what a down year it was, and meanwhile, I'm surrounding myself with a lot of folks who are thriving in their work. Right. Granted, it is a funny year. Even myself personally, as a matter of transparency, we are a little bit slower than years past, but we're still doing okay. We're not going from like 100 down to 0. We're going from 100 down to like maybe 80. Right? Which is totally fine. But all this doom and gloom and all this doom scrolling and just people just hitting the panic alarm, it got me a little triggered. So I got really angry. I went unhinged, right?
He came out swinging.
I was like, you guys got to get your shit together, you know? Like, you guys have to like just get it together, you know? Like, I have so many friends that are doing well right now. Don't even look at me right now, right? Just look at my friends who are doing really well right now. Like, if you haven't done this, like, if you haven't posted on your social medias, you haven't blogged, you haven't shared any client work, you're not making any effort to meet with venues and planners and nurture these relationships, right? Mm-hmm. How can you blame the economy? How can you blame the new generation of clients and stuff, right? Like, you have to take responsibility for your business. You need to like take care of your shit. Basically, that's what I said on the first post.
Yeah.
And then I would say about 95% of it was positive feedback.
Yes. But it's always the 5% that lingers in your brain of like negativity. And you're like, did I say something wrong? Like,
I also feel the people that embraced it, like, yes, preach. Like, they're all doing well too, right?
Right.
So there's a certain like I don't want to say genre, but the people that are doing well are like, you're right. People that are doing wrong, like, how dare you tell me I'm not doing enough? So it was like there was no in between in that post.
So I came back again. I came back around too, right? I was like, listen, guys, listen, right? Like, just because someone is successful doesn't invalidate your struggles, right? We're not saying that your struggles are not real. But the thing is, if you're struggling, it doesn't have to be that way. There are certain things that you can do. And I gave them like basically a blueprint. Hey, listen, if you're not doing these things, go ahead and do it, right? This is, I'm giving you what the blueprint is. I'm telling you what the answers are and go out and do it. Because like the 5% of people who responded negatively to my post, you look back on what they're doing, right? Their portfolio's dated. They haven't updated their look in the past 5 or 6 years, right? They are selling to other photographers. They're not selling to their clients. So a lot of the work that they're showing, all these hero shots, it's to impress other photographers, but not necessarily to their clients. They also, they haven't shared any of their work on social media for 2 months, 3 months, right? What kind of business do you think that exists out there that allows you to be sustainable without showing your work for 2-3 months? You know what I mean? So you guys should be angry at yourself. Don't be angry at me. I'm telling you what your problem is.
Yeah.
I'm telling you what you can do to fix it. And then I came out for a round 3. I did a live, like a 2-hour live. The following Monday.
You came for the TKO?
I don't run from the fight, you know? So I came out for round 3 and I went on for 2 hours. And you know what the greatest thing is? More recently, I pulled my my group coaching, right? I have nothing to sell anymore. So I pulled my group coaching and I only have like 2 or 3 students that I'm actively working with right now. So I don't teach at 8 o'clock at night anymore. So these lives, these 7 o'clock lives.
He has no time limit.
There's no time limit anymore. So I go for as long as I need to go.
Last week I was like,
damn,
it's 8:30. What the hell is going on?
He's still going. I had a lot to say. So I think I'm done. 3 rounds is good enough.
It's good enough.
3 rounds is good enough.
True.
But anyway,
I sent you that Mel Robbins thing yesterday when she was on The Breakfast Club, and one of the things that she said that stuck out to me. And they talked about a lot of what we've been talking about holding yourself accountable and like putting in the work and stop looking at outside forces. To do the things you don't want to do to get everything you ever wanted.
correct.
And I think that ties in a lot of people who have a business and don't want to do those things, like posting on social media, putting in the work. They just kind of think it just falls in your lap. But there's so many years of hard work and labor and success. We all do shit we don't want to do every day. Like, I don't want to be making reels 5 hours a day but I know that's the only way I'm going to get the work and get the money. And so there's
a certain group in our area that I remember. I know you saw this post, and people were like, I didn't sign up to be a social media content creator. I signed up to be a photographer, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, you sign up to be a business owner, and that's part of running your business now. Mm-hmm. So you have to do it. But people are like so like sour about it. Like, oh, I'm not going to do it. Why do I have to do this? They're so stuck on like just trying to do things their way and not adapting, which... I mean, and it's to our benefit too, because there'll be more work for us in the long run. But I think a lot of people don't hold themselves accountable. Mm-hmm. It sucks that we have to be a content creator. It sucks that we have to make reels and we take photos and we have to make videos all the time. Like that fucking sucks. Mm-hmm. But
running a business involves doing a lot of that boring stuff, right? If you don't want to do it, you can either automate it or delegate it, right? Or use...
is this your segue?
Yes, it is. I was like, we gotta somehow segue this back to our guest, right? But yeah, like you got to either delegate or automate if for stuff that you don't want to do. That's just the nature of our work, as a business owner. Or if you don't delegate or automate, you got to do that yourself, all right? And there are a lot of tools that we use in our businesses to help with that kind of stuff. So anyway, are you guys ready for... I'm blanking out.
Are you guys ready to get this podcast started?
Yeah, are you guys ready to get this podcast started?
I think so, yeah. I am. I don't know about you.
I don't know. All right.
Ben's had a week.
I've had quite a 2 weeks. Yeah. Anyway, guys, welcome to the Focus Day of podcast. My name is Ben.
This is Jen. There's no Karis.
And this is Ro.
Sorry.
And I'm not Focus AF today.
I'm trying to be.
Yeah. For those of you guys who probably noticed the obvious, my darling wife, she's on mommy duty right now, and the kids got stuff they got to do. So, yeah, she might join us later. We don't know yet. So
she can't. There's no setup for her.
We'll figure it out. She might just pop her head in and then leave. Yeah.
Pop her head out.
But she contributes about 5 minutes of airtime for every recording anyway.
We just need one frame and just loop it. Just keep looping it.
Pretty much. But anyway, so speaking of the boring stuff, the tedious stuff that you don't want to do.
Don't make our job sound so terrible.
Well, let's talk about the stuff that's super important in your business. That's not necessarily the fun stuff, right? Like taking photos, right? There's a lot of when I make the analogy to my students, like, listen, I know that we signed up to be photographers, but you're also a business owner. If we were like a bakery or a cheese shop back in 200 years ago, you have a brick and mortar place, you'd have to clean the counters, wipe the windows, sweep the floors. This is all the boring stuff. You went into business selling bread and cheeses and stuff, but really, this other stuff is a key part in making sure that your business is running smoothly.
Yeah.
So for us, that was having a CRM in place. Do you guys use a CRM?
We do. Yeah. It was like a must.
Yes.
What do you guys use your CRM for?
So I don't know where things land with my CRM, but we're with Pixify. Tim Hussey was amazing. Great. He sold the company.
It was for the people.
Sold the company like 3 years ago to some investor. He was doing well. He's kind of fallen off the face of the earth. And then I just found out that they were sold to somebody else. I'll figure out the name. I don't know what's happening. So I've been like backing up all my stuff. I know. So we'll see what happens. It's just I have like 12 years worth of stuff on there.
Oh, you've been using it for 12 years?
Yeah.
Since day one?
No, we used something old a long time ago. That was really basic, and then we switched like maybe like a year in. So, but there's a lot of stuff in there, so I'm very hesitant. So I'm just kind of like riding the wave and see what happens with this.
So I've been using Táve. I'm a heavy Táve user. My first CRM, I think my only CRM. I've been using them for about 11 years. So you look at the math, right? It's like, wait, what did he use for the first 5 years?
Google Sheets, Excel documents,
a Rolodex.
Basically, just a little leather pad. Everything's handwritten with eraser marks and stuff.
Those black and white marble notebooks. Like,
all right. Let me tell you why I started using a CRM, and then I'll introduce our guest because she's waiting. She's about to explode over there next to me, right? So I think I told you guys this story before. So I think it was a July 4th weekend, and I had an opening on my calendar. I was like, oh babe, we got an opening on our calendar. Let's go to the beach, right? And then as we're packing up the kids and stuff, I get a phone call from the best man. Hey, where you at? I was like, what?
I'm at the beach, bro.
No, I was still in the house. I was like, oh my God, like the wedding had been deleted from my calendar, my Outlook calendar, because it's so easy to get it deleted, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that wedding used to be there, but it was no longer. And I was like, oh my God. Any case, I mean, this was over 10 years ago. This statute of limitations already gone, right? And I made it right for that client. But in any case, thankfully, prep was only 30 minutes away. Ended up being maybe like 45 minutes late. So I made it up for them.
You're lucky you had all your stuff charged and ready to go.
All my stuff's already. It's always ready to go. I'm like the fire department. My stuff's already packed. So in any case, I was like, all right, I need something that's going to prevent this from happening.
Yeah.
And that's when I discovered there's such a thing called a CRM, right? So I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. But of course, it's so much stuff inside a CRM. And really, I just needed something to keep my calendar organized, all my contacts and my contracts, all that stuff organized. And,
the basic stuff.
And I remember when I had to set this thing up, I remember writing into the tech support, like, hey, I don't know how to do this. This is not working for me or whatever. And the sweetest, the nicest, the nicest customer service. I was like, oh, I can help you out with that. And got me set up. And I would bother her in the middle of the night with all my crazy stuff. And she was just so patient with me. And I was like, all right, I'm going to be a Táve user for life. They're so nice. So anyway, I want to introduce you to this person. She has at least been in my life for at least the last 11 years. But how long have you guys known her?
We've known each other through like our local Better Together group for a long time.
I didn't really hang out until Cuba.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, good stuff. Well, anyway, so without further ado, I want to introduce you guys, or I want to welcome Nicole Hoffman to the podcast. Welcome.
Thank you, guys.
I'm
so excited.
Yeah.
I know. I'm like ready to just like jump in.
I was like, how do we segue this in?
It's like taking forever.
I want to preach. No.
Yeah.
Well, time for you to preach.
Yeah.
But first, give us everything: history, background, because you don't just work for Táve.
Yes.
You own your own photography company. So tell us your whole journey.
Yeah. So I wear many hats. Not 17, but many hats.
18
How many
hats.
CRM jokes does she have?
Oh gosh, so where do I start? So I actually was
She has
in
a studio too. She's a ninja.
That's in Australia. So yeah, I actually started. I was in law school. Graduated in 2012. While I was there, I was in New York City. Always had an interest in photography, and my mom and dad gave me a camera, like a entry-level Nikon, while I was in law school. So just to take photos on the side, and started after graduating, kind of just like taking photos for friends, and turned into like a little hobby. And then when people started asking me what I was charging, I just kind of made stuff up, and as we all do, and put together a website, and just started going to town, shot my first wedding without any experience helping others in 2012. And then just kind of, it took off from there. I was working at a law firm for a few years, and on the side, I had found Táve as a user and was very active in their Facebook group. And one of the owners actually reached out to me by Facebook message and was like, hey, would you want to work for us? Because you're like really helpful with other users. And I was like, sure. So I'm like working at a law firm.
It for free.
Yeah. So they would pay me to like answer support messages, to be active in the Facebook group. And it was like a contractor thing. 6 months or so later, they reached out to me. I remember this day very vividly, going outside to my husband, or my almost husband. We were not even think we were engaged yet. And my father, and being like, so I think I'm leaving law to, work for a software company. And they were like, are you crazy? And yeah, they offered me a full-time job at the time. And that was in 2015. And so, yeah, I've been working for them for the majority of the last 10 years. I did take a little break a couple years ago. For about a year and a half, when Táve was reacquired by one of the original co-founders. He reached out to me and was like, hey, this might be happening soon. Will you come back? And so I was very happy with the new direction things were going. And so I came back because I just love the product so much. And I love helping other business owners. And I think a part of me always has wanted to be a teacher. Like growing up, I was always playing school, and I'm in the minority that likes running the business. I actually like running the business more than I like shooting. So yeah, I love this stuff, the side of things, and that's why I'm so passionate about it. And so I've just been working mostly in support and education for Táve for good 10 years on and off. Even when I wasn't working for them officially, I was promoting them and getting people to use them. So yeah, huge fan.
Yeah.
So that first wedding that you photographed, how much did you charge for that wedding?
Nothing.
Really?
Well, it was a good friend of mine growing up, so it was like a gift. It was a small, like really small, lower budget fire hall wedding on the
You
island.
didn't charge anything for that one?
No, that was like a gift.
You can't even get
solo
You
shooter.
can't even get what Moses Cruise.
Yeah.
What about your next one?
Your first paid, paid one.
I think my first paid was like $900.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
It's 15, I think, if I get my math right. It is 15, right?
Yeah,
15 Moses Cruises.
Oh gosh.
You went from 0 to 15.
Yeah, I want to say it was like 900, but like probably the next year, the fall of the next year.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty good. How many hours? Was it a full day thing?
Oh, so I've always been a sucker for full day weddings. I've finally changed it. I'm now leaving an hour early, thanks to many years of people yelling at me. It was probably like a 10-hour day.
Yeah,
That
second one.
Oh, man, $90 an hour? It's more than UPS and Amazon.
Yeah, basically. And you still are photographing weddings now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I shoot weddings and then a lot of family portraits, especially in the summer. Being by Long Beach Island, I get tons of like people on vacation. And so I do a lot of beach sessions.
What kind of volume are you doing of weddings a year?
Every year's a little different. My year is similar to what you guys were talking about before. It's a little slower this year, but nothing too terrible. I think this year I have between 15 and 20 that are either my own wedding, or I have a couple that I'm associate shooting actually for a friend. Yeah, it's like definitely lower than a typical year, but
nothing alarming.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah,
and you weren't really doing very high volume anyway, right?
No, I usually stay between 20 and 30 total, and that's combined between like second shooting, assisting, and primary.
Yeah.
And also the big giant pink elephant in the room is you're also using the same IPS team as we are.
Yes.
When did you onboard with them?
June. Last June.
Yeah.
So I haven't been a full year yet, but officially I think I have like 2 more weddings to go, and then officially everything after that.
The new system.
Yeah, the new packages, new procedure.
Were you doing IPS before?
No, at all.
Like us. Well,
Not at
most
all.
of us,
All
right?
of us, basically.
Well, Moses was doing it to some type of, not as like, it wasn't like a same day review. It was more like he would meet with them, right?
More passive.
Yeah. But he was doing okay. Okay with it.
Yeah.
But he was the only one that onboarded that was doing some type of like.
Yeah. It took me about 6 months to recoup my investment, my onboarding. So, yeah.
I know I've definitely seen a huge difference right away, and like the best justification for it. Like I still have a couple weddings that have albums that have been outstanding for a few years. I have one couple that I love dearly, and I reach out to the bride every few months, like, "Hey, can we finalize that wedding album?" She wants to like change one more image on this album design. And at this point, I don't even think she remembers what it is she wanted to change.
Yeah.
And she's had 3 kids since their wedding.
Oh my God.
And I'm actually seeing them again next month for a photo shoot for more family photos. I'm like, I need to finalize this album because at this point I'm like losing money compared to what I charged her years ago. But I love them dearly, and
also you just want to get it out of your
and I want them to have it. Like
I have an IOU from 2011. They have 3 albums. They paid for it already.
Oh.
And I charge nothing for those books.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm good for it, but still.
Yeah.
Like,
see, that's why we added a clause, like, because that's one thing that we wanted to prevent is like somebody coming back 10 years later, prices change. And so we have a forfeiture clause after what, like 12 months?
I think my contracts do say that, but I just never take advantage of it.
It's just to scare them. Like, it's just there to, like, I think only one person, like, what we do is in order to, like, if they come back, there was a $250 fee, right? So, just to, like, you know, offset the cost or whatever. But I think we only had to enforce it like one time.
Yeah.
In all these years. So it's good to add it there to kind of like, hey, like, you know, if they don't come back, I don't owe you anything. Like,
I tell my clients
that's your
now.
fault.
Yeah, I tell my clients, listen, I don't know how many more years I'll be doing this, but I like to retire without owing you an album, right?
Yeah.
So just let's get it done and just bang it out. That's it. But yeah, we got to go back to talking about the CRMs.
Yeah. Sidebar.
All right.
Well,
so,
it's all, you know, all related.
Yeah.
It's all about outsourcing the things that you're not good at,
It's
or
you don't
having
wanna do.
some
it's not
type
your
of
favorite
system.
thing. It's not your favorite thing to do, or you don't have the bandwidth for it either.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, you don't have the
It takes
bandwidth.
time to do anything. Like, well, anything back end takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
That's time that I could spend playing my mobile games on my phone.
But here's my argument. If you spend the time to get it set up initially, then you'll have even more time to play those games later because you have a software doing the work for you that you're paying way less than any virtual assistant.
Yeah. So tell us how you, when you were doing your business, how you started looking into something like Táve and how that helped you. Give us the whole process.
So I am a very type A, like, perfectionist. I like having systems for things. I like apps and all that fun stuff. So back when I first started my business, I was like trying to figure out, how do I keep track of like all the stuff I have to do for all these clients? Because you got weddings, you have family sessions, you have newborn I was doing at the time that lasted a couple of years.
Babies in baskets?
Yeah. Oh gosh, no. And I was kind of just like, I need a way to know like what I need to do on any given day for all these different people that are starting at different times and their dates are on different dates. And I didn't even know what a CRM was. I didn't know what it was called. I had found, I don't even know where, like systems where people were creating these like fancy dry erase boards, and then they would like write all their tasks that they do and then write the names of the sessions at the top. But then like things aren't always in the right order, and like and then I was doing like these fancy binders that I would put together, and I would like create a page for each new job. Like I was trying every option out there.
I feel like this ages us so much.
Oh, I know. Paper. We actually used paper at some point. Yeah. So I guess I was in a Facebook group probably, and somebody mentioned Táve. I wish I could like thank the person who got me there, but I don't remember who it was or where I heard of it. But yeah, then I kind of like learned. Actually, before Táve, I did try Studio Plus, I think it was called, and it was like desktop only. They didn't have any mobile access, so like it was like very limited. That didn't last very long. So I tried all these different methods, like to track everything. I tried Studio Plus. It was way too basic. I don't know how I found Táve, but my main thing that I needed was essentially like a workflow, like a digitized workflow, so that I could just dynamically see like every day what I need to do for what clients. And I needed like the due dates to be automatic and all of that stuff. And so that was the main feature that like got me into using a CRM. But then I just kind of like, I'm like a putzer by nature. So I love diving in there and like adjusting all the settings and customizing everything. Like I'm the type of person that sets up an account with any app and I'm like, I customize the profile picture. I like fill in all the fields. You know, I'm like one of those.
I leave everything blank.
I used to, when I was a kid, like this is how dorky I am. When I was a kid traveling on planes, I would like rip the magazines out of the back of the seat in front of me and fill in those stupid like mailer cards
me too.
that you would send out to like get a free magazine, even though I never would send them out, but I just loved filling out forms.
Yep.
Yeah, like it's such a
You like filling out forms?
it's
It's
so
so weird. I
Yeah.
did just the same thing. Anything that used to come in the mail, like, and it would have like the tear off, and you're just like,
Oh, I would love it.
I know my name and
Are
address.
you a Virgo, Jen?
No, I'm a Scorpio.
Oh,
It's like get 1 month free for a 12-month
Wait,
subscription.
all right,
Yeah,
all right. Did you guys ever fall for the Columbia music stuff?
Oh yeah,
Columbia music?
oh, the CDs.
Yeah.
I did.
It's
Yeah.
like
They never gave
Fill
me
out this form. You
anything.
get 12 CDs.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
yes. I
It
remember
was
that.
legit, but I never got anything.
No. It was not legit because you can never remember to cancel it, and then you get a nice charge on your father's credit card.
Yeah.
Or a nice bill in the mail.
Yeah. No, I
But
love
yeah.
filling that kind of stuff in, and I still do.
You must have like 1 billion subscriptions then.
Oh, I do. It's bad.
Oh, my God.
So at WPPI this year, all of my coworkers with Táve, anytime I would meet somebody new and we'd be talking about something, or we'd walk by like a company or a vendor or
Sign up
somebody,
to
I'd be
this.
like, "Oh, I have an account with them." They're like, "Do you have an account with everybody?" I'm like, "Yes," because I'm like a subscription and app hoarder.
Oh,
if
my
it's
God.
something that's
He's
gonna
the
like,
opposite of you.
do you have a Rocket Money subscription so that you don't you cancel all that
I
stuff
do, but I
out?
haven't really used it yet.
Ben's one of the worst times in Ben's career is when he had to switch over to Adobe subscriptions.
Oh,
Like
I was on
Lightroom,
Lightroom 4
man.
for like ever.
wow.
I was like, oh shit, we can do this stuff now. You guys can do this with Lightroom, like with your Lightroom. You're like, you guys can, like there's some features that I
Masking.
needed. Oh, actually, you know what it was? It was after shoot, or I think it was after shoot. They're like, we can't call, or one of the programs.
You're using a dinosaur.
Right, they're like,
We can't.
no, you can't use Lightroom 4 or Lightroom 5. And I was like, okay, so I guess I have to upgrade.
Upgrade.
That's
Yeah.
subscribe.
Yeah, no, I'm a sucker for subscriptions. It's a problem, especially if there's an annual option. Just take my money,
money,
and don't
yeah,
bother
save
me
money.
every month.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mhm.
The best. So
I'm happy with my Táve subscription though.
awesome.
Yeah.
He's about to act. Do you offer a one-time purchase?
One-time purchase.
We'll drop your link in the show notes
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that
look at the link.
future newbies you'll get some
Yeah,
kickback
yeah.
from it. You'll get some credit.
The 5 listeners that we have for this
Yeah.
podcast.
But yeah, so that's how I kind of like found out that I needed a CRM, and then I kind of just took it from there and really like customized it and grew with it. Like I was still new in my business, and
Mhm.
like I had my Táve account, grow with me, and so I've like used a little bit more like as my business grew and figured out what I needed to, help me out.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that like not an argument, but like a thing that I get into with a lot of users at trade shows like WPPI imaging. When I see new potential users, they're like, "Oh, I'm new. I don't need a CRM." I'm like, now's the time to do it,
Yeah.
because
Let's
the reason a lot of people, as you guys we were talking about before, like a lot of people don't use it as much as they could, is because you don't realize you even need a CRM sometimes until you're so busy,
Mhm.
and then you don't have the time, or you don't dedicate the time to like sit down and learn it. And so like we have users that have been using Táve for over 10 years that like still were manually entering leads. Like we met a guy at WPPI, and he's like, "Oh, I can embed this in like a contact form into my website." I'm like, "What have you been doing for 10 years?" Like,
There's
Ben's like, I
integration.
still do that.
No. My lead form goes directly. It's integrated with my Táve, right?
Yeah,
But
good.
it's not a Táve form. I have some other integration.
like a WordPress plugin,
Right.
But
But
it
yeah,
still
this
has,
guy
like,
was
a-
is manually like, I was like, "You
Old
need to reach
school.
out to us like as soon as
Unless
you leave here."
unless the lead came in through Instagram, or the lead
Yes.
came in like through an email, direct email.
Yes.
That I would have to manually
Yeah.
enter.
Yeah.
Right. But a lead form, you can integrate that.
Yeah. But yeah, some people still like don't even take advantage of like the basic, features that
What a
like,
shame.
and so I feel like, yeah, it all comes down to kind of not taking the time to sit down and like put the time in,
Mhm.
and it's going to pay for itself, times 100.
Yeah, and it's
if you do
not
that work.
It's not
super
expensive.
expensive at all.
No.
Compared to like, what is it? How much a year?
Oh, well, so
That
Táve,
is not that expensive.
we start at $25 a month.
Yeah. See, it's not even.
I have
more-
3 brands, and I think I'm under 40.
Yeah, it's $35 a month for multiple brands.
Right.
And then if you do an annual subscription, you kind of save like a month. That's the thing. Like we literally at these trade shows will talk, to people who have maybe come from competitors or whatever. And we're so cheap and like,
I'll tell you what the other
so much more powerful. And the other competitors don't offer free support unless like you're in like a high tier plan.
Oh, shit.
And it's like when you're setting up something this powerful, you need support because like it's a lot to learn and you want to use it.
I'll tell you a big pain point, especially folks who are coming from other CRMs, because I was with another gallery host for a long time and I'm with PicTime now.
Smug mug?
Yeah. So like I was like, what am I gonna do with all these images? And they were like, well, we can help you like move everything over if you want. But I decided not to because it's just way too many photos and it's only $10 a month for hosting. So I was like, $10 a month, whatever. But with CRMs, I would imagine like, oh my God, I got all these contacts from previously. I mean, I guess you can just download a CSV file, right?
So yeah, you can import your contacts in bulk from a CSV. That is one of the few things that you can do on your own, like from another software. But we actually have a pro services option where we have a guy on our team who will do migration for you. And a good chunk of it is free. And usually it's enough to get people where they need to be. Because some people, like you were saying, you've been with your CRM for over 10 years. Some people want all that data in there.
Yeah, it's good to go back.
Yeah. But then there's some people that are like, let's just start with like January 1st of this current year and like have like a good solid break point.
Yeah, why do you need a contract from 2016, right?
I don't need the contract. I like the data. Like the
data of like
the finances, the number, like because with Pixify you can see how many events you had that year, what type of events. It'll show you like
but
how
if you
much
can
you made
export those reports into like a nice PDF or like a nice, assuming they have them. Because there are, that's the other thing too. There's some CRMs that we've learned that like don't even have reports that tell you like how many jobs you did in a year. It's like, how do you not
I have a confession to make. I don't read my reports.
But okay, so I don't look at mine too often. However,
I have no idea.
I actually have a perfect example. What you were talking about before, how people are up in arms saying like it's a slow year, like what should I do?
That's how you go back.
Well, yes. So last year, even there was a girl in one of our local groups who is a Táve user, and she was complaining about being down compared to, I guess, 2024 or 2030, whatever year it was.
The big years.
Yeah.
22, 23 are the big years.
And she was saying that like her booking rates weren't as good or whatever. And I was like, do you feel like your booking rates are like lower, or have you actually looked at your data? And I actually looked at her data and they were very consistent.
Yes.
Like, but it just felt different. And like, so, but if you actually sit down and look at like how many inquiries you had for a given month of the previous year and compare it, which is something you can do in Táve, like a lot of times it's not as big of a difference as it feels because of things going on. And,
I was
takes
sharing
away
that with them too, because I have, not in Pixify, but like I have a Google sheet where I just put in, this is the amount of increase for the month. This is how many meetings we had, this is how many we booked. And I would look back, it goes back to like 2016. And I was like, okay, we're back to pre-2020 numbers, which is still good. It's just like those years in between were the flourishing years, and we all thought like that would last forever, and it doesn't. So going back and looking at those numbers makes you feel so much better when you're in the middle of panic mode, when you're like, oh shit, nothing's happening.
There's no inquiries coming in.
But then you go back, you look back, you're like, oh no, it's about, the numbers are pretty much the same.
Yeah, exactly. And then there are always those last minute bookings. The people, like last year, or I don't think it was this past December. It was the December before. I had a bride reach out to me and she's like, my wedding's December 29th, I think it was. And she said 2024. And it was like December 1st she was reaching out to me. And I was like, oh, she probably accidentally put in the current year, but she means 2025. And so when I responded to her, I'm like, just to be sure, like this is your date. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, wow, she's literally booking the month. But she was super laid back. Like that was just her vibe. And I understood it once I met her. But you do get those like, not usually a month out, but like usually a few months out. Sometimes there's more last minute people, and you kind of usually, at least in my experience, catch up a lot of times to those numbers. And
there are definitely a lot more last minute people. And then you kind of have to think back to your own like buying habits and your own. So I think back now, like whenever I want to make a huge investment in our business, and like maybe I do have a consult with that person or whatever, I take my time too. I'm realizing now, I'm like, oh, I'm doing what people do to me sometimes, just like sitting on it, thinking on it, especially if it's a big investment. You're like, okay, hold on. Maybe I'll take a month and then I'll get back to that person, go ahead with them or not.
Take your time.
It depends. Unless it's something I'm really sold on, then I will book it like that.
I'm an impulse
but
buyer.
like some things I'm very like lax about and will take my time, and then I'll pull the trigger. But if it's something like I feel in my gut to go ahead and book, then I'll do it. And there's people like that too. Like there's some clients that'll meet us and be like, all right, I'm going to sign the contract.
Yep.
And there's some that you meet that are like, you don't hear from them for like 2-3 months. So
I agree with you, but on bigger expenses, you don't wait.
if it's travel, no, we don't have a problem.
No,
with
not
that.
travel.
Same.
not travel. I'm talking about business wise.
Oh, like with Asset, yeah, that was done right away.
Yeah, but like if you have to pay a copywriter $600, you take your time.
Yeah.
It's like it's so weird.
But those are the buying habits. But that's based off of like data and stuff that we've talked about. So.
Yeah. And I think a lot of it too, and kind of tying it back into things you can do with your CRM, like these days, people are not as aggressive as I think they should be, like with leads, like following up. Like I have a friend of mine who's always like, I'm not booking. And I'm like, well, did you even send a single follow-up email after your initial email? And she's like, no. And I'm like, these days, like people feel like they're going to be harassing somebody, but really email is still super important. And I am a believer that having email communication and now text communication is way more important than just social media alone, of course. But it's so easy. People are getting so many emails that like it's so easy for them to miss your follow-ups and stuff. And so sometimes that follow-up could be what gets you the gig. And even that obviously the initial email is so important. So like with Táve, you can automate a response, but I don't even do that because I feel like that's too like generic.
Yeah.
I instead get a text message as soon as I get a new lead. And so I respond. My response rate is like within an hour, usually even less than that.
How are you responding?
I just pull up Táve on my phone and send one of my email templates. I always start with email templates. It's been forever since I've drafted an email from scratch. Like I can't even tell you the last time I have. But so I start with an email template, and I have templates for different scenarios, like based on where the wedding is, certain venues that I shoot at a lot. I have slightly different worded ones. But you can customize them to make them even more personalized. But yeah, so I send those emails out so quick, and like so many times I get responses that are like, wow, thank you so much for responding so quickly. Yep. And like, even if clients know certain emails are automated or might think they might be automated, like they don't care. They just want to be contacted. Like they want the information. Like,
so what if the inquiry comes in at like 8:30 at night?
Oh, I will jump on it. I have I do value work-life balance, but I don't think it's a cut and dry thing. I'm not the type of person that won't text with a bride after a certain hour. Like obviously, like if it's not urgent and I'm doing something that requires my attention, I'm not gonna like stop everything. But I remember still years ago, my first wedding at Park Chateau. This is when it was a new venue. I had a bride that was planning to get married there. They were still under construction, like when they visited it. And she was debating on which date to go with. And she really wanted me as her photographer. And she was like literally going back and forth like about specific dates. And she was texting me. And I remember it was definitely like evening, like probably 9 p.m. or whatever. And I was going to text her back. Like for me to ignore her text, like if that could maybe turn her off and lose a huge booking like that, just because I couldn't literally pick up my calendar and check a date for 5 seconds and say that date works. Like it's silly. Like I understand having the boundaries, but like there's a little wiggle room, I feel like. I've definitely become a little bit more of a no person, way more than I used to be. I used to say yes to everything. But a lot of it is about setting expectations and which is a whole...
I put office hours in my signature. It's like, listen, if you're emailing me after this time, don't expect a quick response. But
email.
I still respond quickly anyway. But it's
just in the event that you can't.
But definitely inquiries, at the very least, it takes 5 seconds. So look at your calendar. Hey, I'm available, but let's chat tomorrow.
Depends on the venue as well. Kidding.
No, it does.
No, I have in my signature, I do have like, hey, my response may be a little delayed if it's like a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. And like the way I look at it too is like, if they're reaching out to me about their wedding, if I was shooting their wedding today, say it was a Saturday, like they wouldn't want me interrupting their wedding day to respond to another bride. So I've never had pushback, honestly. But like if I did, that would be my like thing. I'd be like, you don't want me stopping on your wedding day to like deal with another potential bride,
Right.
But yeah, no, I think setting expectations, and that's another thing with emails. Like so much of my CRM is automated, and a lot of it comes down to like setting expectations throughout the process. Like we were talking about contracts before. Nobody reads, and even when they do read, they're booking you sometimes a year or more out. So like they don't remember what your turnaround time is a year later. They don't remember like, you know, all your clauses in your contract.
Impossible.
Yeah. So like what I do, and it stopped so many questions, is like before every shoot, after every shoot, like whether it's an engagement session, the wedding day, I send them a like, hey, congrats, you're married. Here's what's next. And it's bullet points. It's like in this many weeks, you're going to do your reveal. Or, you know, now it's a little different because they know when they're getting their photos thanks to Asset. But before that, I would say like, hey, I'm now going to be pulling some sneak peeks for you. You're going to see your photos in this much time. And now I don't get those questions anymore that are like, hey, how many weeks till I get our, you know, till we get our photos? Or just all of that is all about like beating them to the questions that they're going to have and like learning from that and checking in along the way with just, you know, what time is hair and makeup? You know, what time do they need to be done for photos? Like that's another huge one that I used to get all the time. So now at the 5-month mark, I send them an email like, hey, you're probably getting asked this from your hair and makeup team. Like, this is my answer. And so they don't even have to come to me and ask that question. And that's, you know, why I said it's been 13 years of using the same CRM, but I've constantly adjusted it based on the new things that I'm like, oh, I get this question a lot. Or, you know, this is something that I don't want to do myself anymore. So I'm going to have Táve draft the email or send it out or whatever it is. Yeah, you just kind of like have it grow with you and you like learn as your business changes.
Yeah.
What
the
you can
biggest
automate.
adjustment we did was when we brought on Asset, and so there's a lot of questions. So you have to drill it in their head as much as possible. So yeah, going in our CRM, every email that goes out, there's, you know, new information about this is what happens to your engagement session. You're not getting all the images. This is, you know, what happens with your wedding reveal. The same thing. Congratulations on your wedding yesterday. Here's what's next. Don't forget to schedule your reveal. Like, you just have to drill them as much as possible.
Yeah.
And the fact that we don't have to do it manually is so much better, because I know those emails are going out. If they read it or not, that's up to them. But at least I know it got to them.
You occasionally get one or two.
Yeah, one or two people I don't read as always.
But it's way
like,
less than you would have probably years
they're
ago.
getting a lot of emails though. These couples. I was talking to one during a consult. She said after I signed up with the venue, I've been getting inundated with emails from everyone, even the folks I didn't hire. So having these automations in place can help, and sending multiple emails is helpful because they might get lost in the sauce.
Oh yeah.
You send one email, right? So sending multiple emails is important, but also being a good copywriter is also important.
Yes.
You can't just write generic emails, hey, just following up or whatever, right? It has to be
like spam.
Yeah, it has to be stuff that doesn't look clickbaity. It has to be stuff that inspires interest, stuff that's actually going to serve them. Doesn't seem like you know, you're sending them coupons and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's got to be something they want to open and read.
Yeah. And actually, one thing that I'm working on right now, I'm in the process of taking my email templates, and because they are personalized to an extent, mostly due to like tokens in Táve, how like they're like placeholders for their like name and their wedding date and that kind of personalized stuff. But I'm actually in the process of taking my email templates and throwing them through like ChatGPT and being like, simplify this for me.
Yeah.
Like put it in, like I want my emails to be like 3 sentences at the most, you know, because, or bullet points, things that are easier for somebody to read quickly, because again, nobody reads anything. Like we're all guilty of it, you know, or I'll read something and I forget 2 seconds later what I just read, you know.
Please hold as I put this on my to-do list. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
I told ChatGPT, I was like, make this sound more like Gen Z, like whatever. He's like, yo, this is slapping. This is fire.
Oh, no.
Let's go. I can't wait to see your fit.
That's one thing.
That's great.
Like AI, specifically ChatGPT, what we notice at conferences is not enough of knowledge being spread about how to use these platforms to your business. And I wish going forward that more conferences start to adapt, because there's like so many people we talk to, like, yeah, I use ChatGPT for this. No fucking way. And then we'll write it down, right?
Yeah, what you can do.
It's crazy. Like,
but people don't want to hear, like, they don't like the boring stuff like that. Or then I'm sure they wouldn't.
But it makes the boring stuff so much more easy.
Yeah.
Like now I'm at the point where I have this stress of like, I have recently fed so much stuff to AI to like help me with my marketing ideas I have. But now I have so much copy written that I keep it all like in different notes on my phone and different places. And now I'm like stressing, like, now I have too much stuff to like,
Yeah.
now I have to get all the graphics and figure that out. But I just need to sit down, just like with CRMs. I have to just like make an, block out an hour on my calendar and like focus on it. Which is hard.
You can do graphics on Midjourney, and like you can get a graphic.
Yeah,
for anything.
well, even ChatGPT, they're like, "Do you want me to put together Canva things for you?" And I'm like, sure. I'm always like, yes, please, like all of it, everything that you offer, just give it to me. And then I literally just copy and paste the entire thing and just like plop it into a note or wherever. It's the best. Another trick I've learned is you can take audio, and it's not ChatGPT, but a different free software I got. You can take audio from like podcasts, and you can have it listen to the audio or whatever, put that audio into an outline, and then turn that into a blog post. So like you don't even have to listen to a whole hour-long podcast. Instead, you just have it AI listen to it.
Just give me the bullet points of
yeah,
the shit.
I think your brother uses that software.
Yeah. It's great for like also coming up with good ideas for blog posts. Like there's a wedding planning podcast that I listen to that it's more guided towards brides, but like I'm not a bride, but I want to share that same information worded differently, you know? And so I just pull those bullet points from these podcasts without even listening to them and then turn it into, switch it up into my brand. And now I have all this blog content that's ready to go that I just have to
do it.
Gather the images.
Trying to do it with this podcast. So I have to write everything all the time from scratch.
One of the things I did recently was I asked ChatGPT to like to research our business, right? To tell me about our business. And it obviously it studies your website, and it basically gave me like, how do I say, like a detailed not an outline, but it basically told me what it would be like to work with Jen and Ro. And it was like spot on. I was like, holy shit. I guess it goes based on your reviews as well. It just takes all the data in. And it's amazing because like now, once I saw that, I was like, wow, our branding is on point. Our copy is on point. So that's very helpful too, to do that, just to put your business in there and say, tell me about, let's say, Ben Law Photography. And it would just break everything down.
Yeah. And then the next step from there is like, you ask it like, now based off this information, create a marketing plan for me. Give me 10 social media posts. Give me 5 blog post ideas, blah, blah, blah. And you're just like, you're there all day, just kind of like
it's insane.
Asking for shit.
It's like so mind blowing. My sister recently reached out to me about like helping with an email to her boss. And she was stressed about like, I don't know how to word this right because she works for the government. And she was like, she always comes to me for advice. I'm like, I have so much on my plate. I'm like, throw it in ChatGPT. And she's like, I don't know how to use it. I'm like, literally exactly what you're about to text me, ask ChatGPT. And 5 minutes later, she's like, oh my God, this is the best thing. I should have been doing this for every email. I'm like, I've been trying to preach it to so many people. But yeah, it's crazy.
You just have to learn how to keep.
You know how to ask questions properly.
And clarificate and like fine tune it.
To make it more personalized, because I know some people that would just take it from ChatGPT and put it on their blog,
have to tweak it.
Or put it on their email. And I'm just like, this doesn't sound nothing like you.
I got two things to add to that, right? Number one, so we were supposed to go to, we might still go to Europe. I'm not sure, right? Because Karis just took a booking. So, but she's like, yeah, we want to go to Amsterdam. We want to go to Scandinavia. Like, I don't know where to go. So I don't know where to go either. She went to ChatGPT. Made a full itinerary for like 3 weeks. All right, you're gonna go here. You're gonna stay here. You're gonna go these landmarks and stuff like that. She's like, oh my God, this is incredible. Gave her like a 10-page itinerary. Which is amazing.
There's another travel AI that would specifically do like.
It was a website, but it literally
same thing, right?
Yes, same thing.
Okay.
They just probably just use ChatGPT as like their.
And the second thing, I want to share with you, people that were taking blog posts from ChatGPT, putting them on their website, it was one of the people that were complaining about how business is slow. I mean, she's been in business for a long time and she should know better. And I went to her website and it looked like a robot wrote it.
Oh, yeah. The whimsical wedding at Park Chateau was fantastic. The couple was so in love.
No, you have to use flowers, natural words that clients are actually searching for. But just to get like general outlines, I feel like it's so useful.
To come up with an outline, to come up with an idea, that's fine. But you still have to make it in your own voice.
Oh, definitely.
You have to kind of judge it for your audience.
You got to execute the plan too.
Yeah.
Give you the plan, but.
So how else has CRM like enhanced your client experience?
Oh gosh. So a lot of it with the client side is definitely a lot of that information. Like my brand is so much about like helping my couples have like a stress-free experience. I think like 90 something % of my weddings don't have planners.
Yeah.
And I kind of fill that role in addition to shooting it. So I'm very informative along the way. So a lot of those automated emails for sure are like the best thing ever for me. But even just like keeping me on top of things, whether it's the workflows, reminding me as due dates are coming up, or alerting me. I have like these ways that I alert myself when I need to secure team members. So like if it's so many months before and I don't have a second photographer assigned yet, like it'll alert me. Or if I need to hire an assistant or whatever it is, I have little alerts for things like that. I have an automation that helps me pull all of the vendor like Instagram handles and hashtags and all that, even though hashtags are supposedly extinct, but I still throw them in there because it can't hurt.
Yeah, exactly. You never know.
Old habits, like double spacing after a period.
Oh, I still do that, but I still believe that that's just the right way to do it. But I've learned that that's like a typewriter thing. But yeah, so like I have an automation that literally pulls the day before a wedding a whole list of all the vendors for me. So I just copy and paste that, and I keep it on the job. So anytime I post something from that wedding, I just copy and paste that. And so everything's tagged. And so things like that, just any part of my business, running my business, I say to myself, like, can Táve do this for me somehow? And some of them take some like weird workarounds. But again, like when you put the thought and the time into putting it together and sitting down, and whether you're doing it with somebody on our support team or on your own, like that time is like saving you hours, you know, in the long run. So I always joke that Táve is my best employee. Like I don't, because I'm a solo person. I now have an associate team that I've been debating on building for years because I'm a control freak. But now I finally am letting go, and
That's the key.
Yeah, and outsourcing a lot more, and a lot of that is possible because I have systems, you know, for everything. And my clients, no matter who's shooting their wedding or event, they're getting the same process, the same hand holding, you know, whether it's an automation or it's me, you know, doing it. I get so many couples on their final meeting day, whether we do it in person or now these days, I feel like over Zoom or whatever.
Yeah.
So many will say like, you're the only vendor that stayed in touch with us this whole time. Like we don't hear from any other vendor unless they want to get paid.
Yep.
And like, it makes me sad, but I'm also like, why is nobody doing this?
We say the same thing.
And like, they're just like, thank you. And I've even had some say to me, like, we know some of your emails are probably just automatically sent, you know, but they're like, we don't care. Like we just like to know that like we're still on your calendar or like, you know, that you're not forgetting us.
You just didn't take our money.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so true. You get all the time like, oh my God, you guys are so organized. Like kept us on top of things that we need to take care of, and we appreciate it so much. And like same thing, like said, we haven't heard from our DJ in like a year. We don't know if they're still around or this person or that person.
Sometimes we're like, I'm trying to pay them. I don't even know if they're coming.
No, I've literally,
I was like, what the fuck?
We had somebody that said like, our florist, like we're trying to reach out to her to pay her and she's not responding to our emails, you know? And the other thing too, not even just clients, because as you were talking about before, like some people drop the ball on like networking with like other vendors and things. One thing that is so easy to do with any CRM like Táve is if you're collecting the vendors from your clients, which people should be doing, especially to give photo credit and stuff, but is to just have an automated email that the week of the wedding goes out to the whole vendor team that says like, hey, I'm going to be shooting this wedding. I just want to introduce myself. Like, here's my socials. Like, I'm going to be sharing some sneak peeks with you, whatever. I get so many DJs and other vendors that I meet sometimes for the first time on the wedding day. And they're like, thank you for that email. Like, no photographers ever reached out. And I always hear from hair and makeup people, which is why on wedding days, they spend time taking photos of their work because they don't get photos from most photographers. And like, I feel like so many people drop the ball on that because they're afraid somebody's going to like steal their photo. Like, you're not losing business off of that.
Come on.
The ego thing is like a whole other thing. But like, it's like there's so many opportunities outside of even your clients that you can use your CRM to like boost your business, and you don't have to do anything. Like, you literally just have to like hit send on a drafted email or have it just go out for you, you know?
Mhm.
That's a great
Are
tip.
there, I mean, I don't know if we're going to keep this in or not because this is going into something a little deeper. Like right now, I know that you have to manually, if you change where they are in the client journey, it can trigger an email, right?
Mhm.
Right. But let's say, because right now I also use ActiveCampaign for email lists and things like that. But I'm not sure if Táve would be a good fit for that. Like, let's say I had 10,000 people or 1,000 people that I'm nurturing. Like maybe I got them from a trade show.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I want to be keeping them in the system.
Yeah, we don't do, that's one area. Email is so much of a pain in the ass as it is, like just with like the nature of spam and different
Right.
email servers and, you know, all that. So for just group campaigns like that, we always recommend something like ActiveCampaign or Flowdesk or something. I personally use Flowdesk and love
Right.
them.
Because I want to remove them from the system if they're no longer a viable lead. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So
I
I
don't know.
usually tell
Yeah.
people to, in those campaigns, drop in buttons that go to like Táve forms if they could become a lead. And then
Okay.
this way, because some people, like we have users that go to a bridal show and they're like, I want to put all these in as leads. I'm like, but they're not real
They're
leads.
not real
They're
leads.
cold.
Yeah.
They're
Like,
super cold.
yeah,
leads.
like what you do is you blast them on your email thing, maybe, and then include
Half
a
of them will
button.
block you after the first email.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And then you have them come in if they
Mhm.
want to really
So
inquire.
the email automations after they become a client, I guess, and that's when you continue to
or, after or even as a lead. Yeah.
Oh, as a lead. Oh, yeah. When they, yeah. Mhm.
Oh yeah, we have a whole lead status feature. That's like one of my favorite things that everybody
That's
overlooks.
my favorite.
I love it.
My VA loves it. She's like, everything's flagged, everything's color coded,
Yeah.
and everything.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So-
it's like a if this then that kind of flow. That's like the way I describe it. So like people move to different buckets,
Yeah.
you know, based
Mhm.
on whatever happens, and yeah, it keeps you on top.
I do
of
have
everything.
a feature request.
Yeah.
Are we going to do it? So can we make the links prettier? So when I send the contract link out to clients and stuff, it's not like 100 letters and
Just like a
alphanumeric.
hyperlink.
Yeah, just like a
Oh,
pretty
like
link.
the actual URL.
Uh-huh.
Oh, why are yours like that?
All right, well, we'll have to talk
Yeah, we'll have to
afterwards.
look.
Yeah,
It's
because
part of the Ben
because
intervention.
when I say,
Yeah.
hey, please sign the contract,
He
and
probably
it's like
has
a
an
link.
old version of
Do you
Táve.
still do you have a custom domain set up too, or does yours say Táve.com/Ben Lau photo?
Sure, we'll have to.
Yeah,
run
you
it.
got to get your branding, get a custom domain
I'm
in
like,
there
whenever I
too.
send a link, it's like a block
Yeah.
of alphanumeric.
She's
Yeah.
like, that's not supposed to be like
it's
that,
like
Ben.
a super long. Okay, I see
URL.
what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you might also be, is that in the actual email too, or just when they click on it in the
No,
browser?
I send my own personalized email,
Mhm.
and then I was like, all right, sign your contract, and then I send them
Big
the
link
link.
in there.
Oh, so it doesn't say the name of the contract, and when they click on it, oh yeah, so you're just using the wrong token.
Okay, we'll figure
That's
it out.
easy.
We'll figure it out. Okay.
That's easy.
We'll figure it out. No, because like when it goes to the quote page, it's like, all right, direct link. It says direct link, or
Yes.
to the, I click on that and I take the URL.
Oh, you're doing that manual. Oh no, yeah.
okay.
I'll save
all
you
right,
time.
cool.
I just saved you like
I
2
was like-
hours a week.
I was like, Abby, this looks ugly. I was like, is there a way around this? You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
We've been doing this way for 14
You know what's
Yeah,
happening?
see?
His couples are like, look what he sent us. Like, I'm not signing this contract.
Spam link.
Yeah. No,
Let's
you
talk.
can make it so much prettier.
All right, let's
And
talk.
yeah, it's
Let's
easy.
talk. I've been living in shame for like 10 years plus.
Hey, it's not as bad as a guy that's been entering his leads manually
Oh,
for
no,
10
we're not that
leads,
bad. We're not
10
that
years.
bad. Yeah. We're not that
Yeah.
bad.
No, there's always something to learn. And
See, I thought it was
you
a
know.
feature thing. I was like, all right, this is just how Táve's doing it. So, okay, whatever.
Yep,
right? But,
yep,
all right, I
yep.
didn't know I could make it pretty.
What I would like to do, since I'm the editor, right?
Mhm.
Why can't you trigger for me, like, oh, this wedding is due on this day or whatever, or I have to edit it.
I
You know
do,
what I
I
mean?
do that. So I
Yeah.
have an event. So for Asset, once I'm told when my edits are due,
Yeah.
I have an edits due event type in my Táve account. And so I put it for 8 a.m. on the day that they're due. And so a lot of my workflow tasks that have to do with editing those due dates are set based on the edits due date.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That'd be great.
So yeah, you could
He
just
doesn't
pop
even know how
that
to get into Pixify.
in.
No, I get all my shit done the minute it gets to my inbox.
Yeah.
It's all right. I don't know anything about CRMs. You don't know anything how to set up reception lighting. So
We all
we're
have
even.
our,
Yeah.
you know.
I am your Pixify, but
Shots
I am the
fired, shots
reminder.
fired.
Yeah, yeah.
Táve can send out texts as well.
So that's something we're actually, by the time this airs, it's probably going to be a the live feature. Yeah, through open phone.
You remember I said he hates subscriptions? He's ready to cancel 2 or 3.
There you go.
He's like, Calendly,
Yes, we get rid of Calendly.
I don't think an active campaign can be replaced. Although active
No,
campaign does.
I would keep an email. If you do big bulk emails and like need like
Good to keep that
lists,
separate, in my opinion.
I would keep that separate.
Yeah.
Because I get I get names and emails and stuff, and
especially for like education, like anything like that. Like it's always good to have that bank of emails because you can keep track of emails in Táve, like email addresses and contacts, but we don't have like a clean bulk messaging.
There's a lot of like if then things that I could do is like, hey, listen, if they didn't answer, they didn't open up the last 2-3 emails, remove them from the system. I need that stuff to be automated.
Yeah.
Too. You know, I don't want to just have them linger in the system.
So many emails depending on the show.
Yeah, no, definitely. Those are the major software I would say. Like that's literally all I have other than like Lightroom and, you know, whatever. I have just Táve. Flowdesk is what I use for email.
Are you using AI for editing calling?
Imagine. Yeah. So I use Imagine.
That's when we unplug the mic. And
oh, you guys are after shoot.
I'm Imagine.
He's Imagine.
Yeah, I would say you were on their podcast.
He's the black sheep of the group.
But yeah, so Imagine, and then that's really all the software I think I use. Because like, that was the thing when I found Táve, I was paying for Studio Plus, and then I was paying for like DocuSign or whatever for contracts at the time or something like that. And then I think I had another thing I was paying for who knows what. And I was like, I could do all of this in one software for less money than all of these things were costing me, like all in one place. Oh, the other thing I have is PicTime, obviously. Like I need a gallery thing.
I hope,
they're integrated.
We integrate with PicTime, yeah.
I do hope Leo listens to this little snippet here. Because I think he still pays for DocuSign.
He does.
Oh my God.
He does.
No, my clients, they sign online on the thing. You guys, what do you guys do?
On Pixify, they sign.
No, but he said
Leo
still uses DocuSign.
And he's a top. He has like a 10-year
Top
plan.
plan.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
Well, oh shit, she said
We
something else
need to have an intervention with Leo.
What's the integration with PicTime now? How does that
So
work?
galleries, you can integrate, and then also your orders. So if you get print orders and stuff through there, they'll come right into Táve, so you don't have to like manually enter that income.
That's a dream because I do it manually right
Yeah.
now. Pixify.
I'll give you guys my affiliate link.
Yeah,
I don't want your affiliate.
go check it out in your notes. in your podcast
Nicole
notes.
did the selling today.
I think you guys get something, I get something.
Yeah, I don't get credit technically.
All right,
But-
so we said we went through scheduling, emails, reminders, workflow. What else is there?
There was something about giving us 5 tips, but I feel like this whole episode has been a bunch of tips.
Yeah.
Reporting. So
Reporting.
Táve has really good report. We have I don't use an accountant. I did that 1 year years ago, and then he screwed me over, and
Oh, no.
I do all my taxes myself, and I do all my bookkeeping myself. But our reporting in Táve, we include all the essentials you need. So general ledger, profit and loss, booking trend reports. So like if you want to see your conversion rates for certain types of jobs that you're booking, what products you're selling the
notating
most.
your expenses on Táve too?
I track everything.
Everything,
Every
yeah.
penny is in that thing.
Mhm.
Like for the
So it
last
replaces
13
QuickBook.
years.
It replaces QuickBook too then?
I've never used QuickBooks a day in my
Me
life.
either.
Yeah, me neither.
Which is why I don't understand why some people would use Táve and then still use like.
So the one thing that we don't do with reporting, the reason why people still use QuickBooks or that other big one, Wave, I think it is, accounting, is because they do bank sync, where you could connect it to your credit cards
and you can track,
and it'll just auto, and then like you have an accountant or whoever, a bookkeeper that like make sure it's all clean and organized.
Yeah.
Honestly, for me, I'm just like, as soon as I incur an expense, I just pull up Táve on my phone because everything is mobile responsive, so you can see your whole account on your phone no matter what. So I just have it part of my workflow, to just enter that stuff as soon as I incur it. Any recurring expenses, like all of my subscriptions, you can set up in Táve as a recurring expense. So you can say every month on this day or every year, just log it as an expense for me. And then, and it'll tell you that it's doing it. So like you can change it if it changes.
Just so much.
Yeah, and for me, twice a month I just download the CSV from my bank.
Yeah, and like double check
you can
it.
import it into Pixify.
I do it once a year.
He just learned about CSVs.
Yeah, he just does it once a year.
Bank
Oh,
statements.
no. Even my mileage,
I was just on an app, but
No, but see, my mileage, I do the math early. So I have a reminder in my workflow, a task that reminds me to log my mileage and tolls. Of course, in New Jersey, I'm up and down that parkway every 5 seconds. So I have a reminder a week after a shoot or a meeting that will remind me to log it. So what I do is I take the federal rate and, I pop it in Google Maps, takes 2 seconds, figure out what the actual write-off is going to be, and I log it as an actual expense. So at the time of taxes, I see what my total mileage expenses are. I just divide that by 70 cents or whatever the year's mileage rate is. And so when I pop it into TurboTax, I just put in the value. So it's already done for me. Like
I just tell my CPA here's how many miles I drove and
do you guys have Mile IQ?
Huh? Yeah.
Yeah, a lot. I've tried that once before, but it's just part of my thing. Like, so obviously a lot of this is like training with anything with your business and workflows and stuff is just coming up with systems and sticking to them and making them habit. And like any CRM, it's like garbage in, garbage out. Like if you're not putting the information in, like you're not going to get the value out of it, you know? So really it can do so much.
Yeah, I had I brought
amazing.
Abby on 21, 22, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I had clients from 2016 still in the
like open jobs.
just open jobs and stuff. So she had to clean up everything from 2016 or 2015 onwards. I was like, I don't know. There's just so many names and it's in here.
Yeah.
You just gotta clean it up. I think it took her
Abby, it's your problem now.
it took her like a year to clean it up.
Well, we have alerts. So when you sign into your account at the top, there's what we call tiles on your dashboard. So like the little like square buttons that will tell you like you have one new lead, you have a contract that you need to sign, you have whatever. And I'll sign into people's accounts to help them out. And there will be like 20 buttons. And some of them are like in the thousands, like unread emails.
You know, it's those people with unread emails.
Yes. Oh, I can't do it.
The new iOS update hides those.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
There are people
my
that
sister
have
needs
like
that.
See a
unread
badge
messages.
on your phone.
When people
I don't know
have
what
like
you're talking
1,000
about.
unread messages,
No,
We'll show
I
you.
can't.
I get
can't.
crazy.
They still
When I
exist.
see an alert,
Yeah.
I gotta take care of
I
it.
have that. Me too.
Right?
Me too.
That's not how many I have. Check this out.
Wait, you
Oh,
don't?
gosh.
How do you know when you got a new email?
I have 2,007 unread.
But how do you know?
That's not as bad as I've seen.
Yeah, but if you click like there's a shortcut there that kind of takes away all the like
But how do you know?
Promotion
How do you know what's
kind
new?
of things.
How do you know what's new and what needs your attention?
Well, this is my personal email. Nothing really comes to my personal
There's
email.
nothing for him
Yeah,
to
this is
attend to.
all like
Trust me.
spam and
No, I'm an obsessive email
listen,
checker.
I
My
mean,
email
it's an
has
alert.
to be a 0 at the
Me
end of the
too.
night.
If there's an
Me
alert,
too.
I need to
Blank.
find out where
Done.
it is
Me too.
and take care of it.
Me too. Me too.
but that's your business email, right? Are you talking about?
No, my personal
Mine are
too.
all combined.
Everything has to be empty.
Mine are all in one
at the end
big
of the
Well,
day.
inbox.
I've had this personal email for like 20 years, maybe more.
Unsubscribe.
Oh,
Unsubscribe.
Yeah.
Another
I
feature
tried.
request.
It still doesn't work.
Yeah.
Another feature request. I have 3 brands, right?
Yeah.
And you know,
feature
there are going to be some days where I'm going out and my team's also going out, right? Or maybe
Yeah.
I'll get an inquiry for that day, whatever, and it'll say double booking warning, but it's not a double booking. I have 3 separate brands.
Yeah, it's giving you just the alert that you might have a double booking.
Right.
Yeah, right now that's not possible to filter by brand or by like employee or attendee or
Yeah, because
whatever.
we do notate who's shooting it and
Yeah.
which brand is covering this, but
Mhm.
it's just like, yeah, it just. I mean, we always manually look up the date anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Feature request.
Yes, we do have that. That is on the it's on. I know it's on our list, so I'll add your vote. But
Especially
yeah.
for associate team, larger teams, right? You're sending multiple teams on the same date, so it wouldn't be a double booking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a few options there for the double bookings, like where you can choose, do I only want to see tentative things or confirmed things or outside calendar feeds, but you can't filter it by like
Shooter.
brand or shooter.
Mhm.
Okay.
But yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Just putting my little
Yeah.
what do you call it? Suggestion box.
Yeah.
She's going to suggest a lot for you to do too, Ben.
Yeah, I'm gonna give
No.
you your homework.
Yeah.
We're gonna throw this outline into ChatGPT, and it's gonna spit out Ben's homework.
Everything that he needs to do. So the CRM basically helps us save time in our businesses. What has helped you save time to do personally and in your business?
Oh,
You have
gosh.
a bunch of new things coming up.
Yeah, so I am again, I wear a lot of hats. I like to do a lot of things. I like to have my hands in. I have a lot of ideas. So I had been wanting to create an associate team for years.
Why would you want to do such a thing? Hey, you want to buy one?
They're for sale.
So, I didn't want to for a long time because I'm a control freak and I want to be there on the day and I want to make sure things are going right and whatever. back when I had my daughter 5 years ago, I had 5 weddings that I didn't shoot because of my due date, and they decided to stay with me with an associate shooter. So I had the same person shoot all of those weddings. They went great. And so I was like, oh, this was kind of like a practice run. And again, this was like 5 years ago. So for the last 5 years, I have 2 shooters who don't like the business side. They like just shooting. And they second shoot for me a lot. I second shoot for them.
I think I know one of them.
Tanya?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So Tanya and Melanie are my main 2 girls, and they know how I like things done. They know how particular I am with certain things. And so it's been years of like talking about it. And now I'm like, finally, like, let's do it. Let's, launch it officially. And so I've been, providing them as an option. So that's one new thing I've been doing. Basically, I came home from imaging in January or February, and I was just like inspired to like make all these changes. And now with outsourcing a lot of other things like album sales and stuff, I definitely have more time to actually think about these things. And so yeah, that's a new thing. I have been trying to get more into branding and headshot kind of work because, again, we are getting older, and eventually I'm not going to be able to do a 12-hour wedding day.
There's shelf life to this.
Yeah. So
and it's also during the week.
Yes. Yeah.
So.
The timings are more flexible, and it's fun. Like, I like photographing products and things that don't
And you
talk
have a
back to you.
5-year-old. And you have a 5-year-old now.
Yes, I have a 5-year-old.
So
yeah.
they're going to have more needs on the weekends.
Oh, yeah.
If not already.
Oh, yeah. She's a busy girl. She's a busy girl. So, yeah. So I have definitely been able to, and honestly, working back for Táve again. Now it's a little bit part-time-ish, but I'm able to do that and run a successful business and have a child that I, take primary care of as far as like all of her agenda. Like, obviously my husband's
I mean,
very...
she's got a calendar.
Yeah, she literally has a calendar. And a very big social life too. So I'm able to do it all, partially because I'm a crazy type A, like ADHD person, but it's also a huge thanks to having a system for everything and having a CRM that does so much of the mundane, like boring stuff, So yeah, it's the best. I like preach it everywhere I go. It's all about having systems and procedures for everything.
Yeah, I shout your name from the rooftops. Táve, not Nicole, but I shout your name too.
Well, it's funny. Everybody knows me as Nicole from Táve. Yeah. Like, so one of my friends...
There's a Nicole also from Clark's Landing, but it's a different Nicole, right?
Yes, a different Nicole Hoffman, yeah. So,
I got an email from her once. I was like, did she stop shooting weddings?
Yeah.
Working at Clark?
Is she working at Clark's? How many jobs does this woman have?
Literally.
Hey, I have had dreams of having my own wedding venue. But yeah, so actually I was working with, I don't know if you guys know Greg Lorenzo.
Yeah, of course.
So I associate shoot for him sometimes too. And the very first time we worked together, he was video, I was photo on a wedding. I said something about Táve, and he goes, oh wait, you're Nicole from Táve? Like, he put 2 and 2 together, and he shows me his phone, and it was like a phone number, I guess, for Táve, but it said Táve as the contact, but then they said Nicole is the best. And I was like, that's me. And so I took a picture of it. But yeah, everybody knows me as funny. Nicole from Táve, so it's kind of funny. But I feel very connected to it.
You've changed so many lives.
I know.
You're a legend.
I know.
Especially here in the local community.
Yes.
There's still some
we used to do
all
all those. Be changed.
Yes, we need some interventions. We got to get them on the calendar.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I loved, that's the other thing too. I love the techie side of it, but I also like the teaching side of it. And so back when pre-COVID, we would do a lot of in-person workshops or going to meetups or whatever. That slowed down, obviously. Now we're doing more webinars and stuff, but we're definitely exploring ways to
do more
education. Yeah. Oh, I'm all about it. I love
Let's do it. Yeah, we're the podcast ourselves, we're trying to encourage more of these in-person meetups.
Yeah.
It's nothing quite like it. The online communities and Facebook groups and Reddit and all that kind of stuff.
It's good to come out and see actual faces.
And you get inspiration.
Say to my face. What'd you say? Say to my face.
And honestly,
no keyboard confidence.
I would say 80% of the time that I'm chatting with somebody, it's not even photo related. We're just catching up or something.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
People need to get.
I didn't get to experience that. Coming up. You know,
like the meetups.
yeah, because
They were
I
big
kept to myself.
Yeah, no,
This
I was the
introvert.
same way.
Yeah, this introvert kept to himself.
Better Together used to have a lot of meetups, which is how I met Moses and
Yeah.
Leo and all those guys. But we were all like on the same trajectory at the time, so we were all eager to like get out there learning stuff. And a lot of us are too busy to time for these. Well, a lot of people in that group got really busy. They grew their businesses, and they just don't even post there. But we're still there, and it's still nice to see faces and chat. And that's
We're the elders. We're the industry elders now.
That's crazy.
No, but even like the trade show, like the conferences and stuff, like I love going there, whether I'm there representing Táve or I've even gone representing Giphy before. Like I like to just talk to people in the industry and get like random little tidbits from them and like learn how they do their business a little differently. And it's just cool to get that like little inspiration. So that's why I like those meetups too. Just
to learn.
You learn one thing,
I was gonna shout out our meetup, but it's not gonna air before.
I'll do some more shout outs on my lives. I'll do some impromptu lives.
Yeah, we gotta have a meetup down by the beach.
Yeah, we'll
summertime.
Yeah, we'll eventually go down there. Like
the next one is gonna be Central Jersey, probably.
Yeah, we're trying to hit around like this. We went north because a lot of people were
complaining.
They didn't complain, but they were like, "Hey, if you do another one, can you do it like closer?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Cool, whatever."
I think in the summer, I suggested a place.
Yes, you did.
By Long Beach Island. It's a great location that has tons of space and like you don't have to worry about like capacity and good food and drinks.
These Central Jersey people better promote.
I do like we want to do a photo walk one time too. Something. Maybe like reach out to a venue.
Should we make it paid or make it free?
Free. Yeah, if we could get everything, like if a venue give us space and we could find a couple and we could just do like a shoot around, just like BT did that one time. I forgot which venue it was, but it was a good turnout. Everyone was there, like getting inspired, taking the couple and doing their own thing. Like I feel like no one really does that anymore.
I can donate 1 hour. I won't do a full day workshop for free.
Donate an hour.
I have connections at like Bonnet and Mallard.
Stop.
We could meet. I'm friends with a lot of their planners. Maybe use their property. And then have the meetup at the boatyard right next door.
Like Ben,
we could take a couple. Like I said,
we can only stay in the groom suite, the groom hut in Mallard Island. Right? You can't leave here. You guys can't go into the main building. You guys got to do all your work here.
Yeah. I hope you like, paddles and anchors.
Very nautical.
I'll bring my canoe. I'll bring my canoe. I will say though, what Táve can do that Active Campaign can't do, because my booked clients are not in Active Campaign. They're all in Táve. So like once they get in, I still need to continue nurturing them because I need to prep them for asset and all that kind of stuff. Right? Just because I have their retainer doesn't mean I have to like I gotta see them more than beyond just the engagement session and when I see them again on the wedding day. I like to have more touch points. I do send them gifts and things like that, but like
no emails in between booking and
not at the moment.
Ben.
I have them all written. I have them written already. No, guys. I know
the next email that comes is the final payment email.
He's one of those that you're complaining about.
They only hear from him when he wants money.
Well, I interact with him on social, right? But
no.
But listen. No. Well, we're emailing back and forth, planning an engagement session and stuff too. There's multiple touch points.
But after the engagement session to the wedding, it could be a year, it could be a year and a half.
My clients are very hands-on. They need a lot of hand-holding. So
but you could eliminate all those emails of them asking you this, that, the other
thing. My
thing.
rule of thumb is like almost every single email with a couple or any kind of client of mine starts with an email from me that's always from an email template. So I'm never drafting something completely from scratch. And it's like beating them, like I said before, to the question.
Yeah. I've written all these questions. I've written all these emails. There's like about 15, 20 emails. They're already done.
You just haven't automated them.
I just haven't put them in yet.
Yeah.
So I'm on it.
And one thing you can do, and actually one thing that I do with Táve that's really cool, I don't know if every CRM has this option, but with automations, because some people want to let go of some of their control, but not all of it. So for emails, you can automate Táve to draft them. And so that morning that
there's AI, you have an AI built in to draft emails?
It's been part of the process forever. So like in your automation, when you choose the option to send an email, you could choose send immediately, send with a delay, or draft.
Oh,
They're
I
not
meant with
writing it for you. They're not writing
Oh,
the
I
copy
meant with
for
the
you.
copy.
No.
Okay.
Meaning draft,
it's
like
holding
it
it there.
prepares
It's
the
holding
email
it.
for you, and then it's just in your draft folder.
You just click send.
And so then you hit send. So I do that for a lot of mine that I might want to add extra personalization to.
Yeah.
Or maybe there's an occasional email, like say a feedback request one. Maybe you're like, I don't want to ask this couple for feedback, or I don't want them going to my Google or whatever. So I have it draft, and then I just either delete it or customize it and send it or whatever. So that's what I do for a lot of mine. I just have it draft it, and then I take it from there.
Because I think there's a workflow thing too in Táve. There's like, and I used it for like a week, and I was like, my clients are not going to this step. They're going straight to this one and whatever. I'm not even following the workflow.
Yes.
Because
So
everyone's a little different.
I tell people workflows are more for the things that like Táve can't do for you. Like things like maybe edit due dates or something where like they're slightly different for every job and you might want to move them around a little bit or something. But for things that Táve can do for you, just take it out of the workflow and just automate it with an automation.
Yeah.
But also we have deliverable workflows too, which are product specific ones. So like you can have smaller little task lists for like an album if they purchase an album, or, you know, different tangible things, or an engagement session, whatever. I live and die by those workflows.
I can't do checklists. That's, you know, I'm wired a little weirdly. Checklists. It's like shot lists. It's all up here.
Yeah.
And that goes really well, Ben. No complaints on their end.
Never.
Oh, he needs an intervention.
Yeah.
It's a intervention? Is that a new word?
Oh,
Yes.
I like it. I like
Up
it.
intervention.
intervention.
But that guy, we're here because we love you.
Nicole's going to change your life and
I
your
love
clients' lives.
Yes.
Well, I'm so glad to have you on board, to have you on the podcast. I think we've been trying to get you on for a little while. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was super helpful. I don't think people realize the power. I mean, we learned a lot.
All right. So
I've
coming
learned.
from me, which I know nothing about how to run a CRM, it was very insightful. So I definitely think people will get a lot of useful tips here.
Are you going to convince your wife to jump on board?
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm gonna-
Yeah.
Let's
I
use my
think it's
code. I'll give
Now
you a
you know
code.
what I do, There's so much I do in the back end. Thank you, Nicole.
Well, see, here's the thing between you and me. I never downplay what you do. I give you your flowers. I give you your
I
respect.
give you your flowers.
No, you don't.
This is the husband-wife portion of the podcast.
I'm always being
Yeah.
judged for hanging out and just like.
You see, Mrs. Lau's not here, so this could be, you know, even more, you know.
But
yeah,
yeah,
so for someone who's been 10 years in, what is your advice to transition over?
Well, so for Táve specifically, we do have the pro services offering, as I mentioned earlier. So we have someone on our team that does migration services, and he'll do a free consultation with you over Google Meet and go through like kind of what your business looks like, what type of work you do, what kinds of templates you already have built. He'll gather that information from you, figure out how much data you want to come over, and he'll recreate that in your Táve account for you. And then do a whole handover session with you too, to like train you how to now use it. And it's been life-changing because that was a service we only started offering a few years ago. And before that, we definitely had a lot of people that would start trials and then get overwhelmed because there's a lot you can do. And you're kind of just like looking at the screen, like with all these options. Now, since we've had this service, I think he was just looking over the success rate, and it's over 70% since we started this service, and it's been really awesome. And then we also do have webinars that I teach. We also have support materials in video format or like text, help center materials on all different features. So and live support, which is where I live, and like the live chat and email support.
Yeah.
So we do include free support for everybody. We do go above and beyond, I think, in our support. So,
And should they take all their data with them, or a year, 2 years?
yeah, I would say if your current CRM allows you to export reports, for sure, get it as much in hard copy and PDF that you can, just so you have a copy of everything. But then I generally recommend, like if it's, mid-year now, I would go back to like January 1. This way you can have the full year of data in there. So at the end of the year, when you're pulling your profit and loss and your sales tax reports and all those reports, you'll have the full year in there.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's usually what Andy does on our team. He will gather that information from you and he will import, a certain amount for free and copy over those templates and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Been the way to go.
More work.
Well, thank you.
Nicole.
Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Nicole from Táve. So where can our listeners find you?
Oh, so myself, my company's Nicole Klim Photography, KLYM, which will be going by NKP and Co. very soon. So either way, I'm going to keep both handles. And NicoleKlim.com. And Táve is at Táve.com. And we have all of our information on our website as far as pricing and features and all of that kind of stuff. And
And when you have a question, there's a very good chance she'll be the
yes,
one
I
on
will
the other
most
end of that.
likely be one of the people that you'll chat with. Yeah, you'll see my little face in the support pop up. Yeah, it's been great helping everybody and seeing it help them run their businesses smoother. So
Well, thank you so much for
You definitely helped Ben today.
yeah,
a little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
He has to put in the work though.
yeah.
I'm a busy guy, I'm a busy guy. Well, Nicole, thank you so much for hanging out with us today.
Thank you.
If you guys want to catch some of the behind the scenes bloopers, highlights, and all that good stuff, you guys can check that out on Instagram at focused.af. Websites, I'm still working on that. It's been a year and a half, but don't go there. But we are on YouTube.
Don't go there.
Yeah, we are on YouTube. You can find us at the Focus AF podcast. And that's pretty much it. So on that note, are you guys Focused AF?
We are.
I'm hungry AF.
Yeah, I gotta go work AF. So
Yeah, you got some homework.
get to work.
Then we all have homework.
Yeah.
Thanks
So,
a lot.
guys. Well, anyway, good seeing y'all. I will see you guys on the next one. Adios.
Yeah.
Sounds
Bye.
good.
See you later.
Focused AF is a fun, business-focused podcast for wedding creatives.
Co-hosted by award-winning husband and wife wedding photography teams Ben and Karis.
And Jen and Ro, where we help fellow wedding creatives with their sales and marketing.
With laid-back conversations and real talk with some of our most favorite people in the universe.
And with that being said, are you Focused AF?
I am Focused AF today.
We are Focused AF.
I think I might be Focused AF.
Welcome to the Focused AF podcast.